Hello everyone, RoseGoldSerpent here and welcome back to the nest. So for a little while now I haven't really known what to do next in this world, but I realised there was one big thing I still hadn't achieved. Fighting the Wither. So this week we are going to begin the preparations to fight the Wither, something I personally have never done before, despite having been played Minecraft since I was in high school. That's about 10 years of playing, and I've never fought the Wither. I just like to chill and play and do casual stuff. But we're gonna do it. So let the preparations begin. So off I went into the nether to gather the Wither skulls needed to summon the Wither itself. You need 3 skulls to summon the Wither, and they have a 2.5% drop rate. This increases by 1% for every level of looting, and my sword, I think, is looting level 3, meaning I've got a 5.5% chance of getting a skull with every drop. My initial plan was just to run around the fortress and kill whatever Wither skulls got in my way, but this was a bit of a slow-going project, so I set up a base near the way I'd built in, and worked on expanding the floor. Because Wither skeletons only spawn on nether bricks, you can increase their spawn rate by building a larger platform for them to spawn on. The more they spawn, the more you can kill, and therefore the more drops you get, the higher percentage chance it is of you getting the skull. Now of course it has to remain a low level lighting, so I didn't bother putting any torches down. But after a while I really did start to make this platform look pretty cool. The only issue with this is that it does also increase the spawn rate of other nether mobs, particularly the magma slime. After quite some time, I did, however, get my first nether skull. Nether skull? I think I meant Wither skeleton skull. My bad. Unfortunately, I did do it off cam because I've been having some issues once again with the Elgato only recording in half-an-hour splices. But I got it. And that's the main thing. What followed next was several hours of killing mobs and increasing the spawn rate of Wither skeletons. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, over and over and over again. But eventually, I got my 3 skulls. Now that I had my skulls, I decided I wanted a brand new set of netherite armour. I didn't record the near 3 hours I spent grinding for ancient debris, but I got 35 pieces in the end. I've got another couple of netherite scraps at base, so I didn't need the full 36. I basically googled how many you needed for a full set of tools and a full set of armour, and that was the number that came up, but I ended up with a couple of extra, but what's wrong with that? With my netherite armour done and mostly enchanted, I set about getting some potions ready. I'm taking some strength and healing potions with me, along with some splash potions of healing, as I've seen online that they damage the Wither, and damage potions heal the Wither. I'll also be taking plenty of milk with me to fight the Wither effect. I didn't do that when I was collecting the Wither skeletons, and it seriously damaged my current netherite armour, so I won't be making that mistake twice. Because I don't want to bore you guys too much, I'll give you a general rundown of what I'll be taking with me. Fully enchanted netherite armour and sword, a diamond pickaxe, potions of healing, regeneration and strength, obsidian to build a defensive structure, a ton of milk, my enchanted bow, plenty of food and some totems of undying. From what I've seen, generally this is what you need to defeat the Wither. I've never done it before, I'm very nervous, I'm going to be doing it underground because I've seen that's the best bet, and I'm going to be doing it very far away from the base. Because I spent some time on this and I wanted to break. With all my gear ready, I set out to find a place to fight the Wither. It wasn't intentional, but somehow it feels fitting that I wound up in the place that this series began. That little rock face, that little hut, there in the rocks. I waited until day broke and then started. Originally I was going to head underground, but decided against this, because I was feeling lazy and didn't feel like digging out a place underground. This turned out to be a mistake. I should have spent the time doing it, but yeah. I even built a little stone golem to try and help me. Yay, friend! And then it was time to build the Wither and fight. Fight. So I will give you a rundown as this goes along and try to edit out all the boring parts, because there's a lot of repetition in this. So the first thing that happened was I shot the golem. Didn't mean to, got in the way, was trying to hit the wither. Whoops! Also, golem didn't last. I knew one wouldn't be enough, but I didn't have any extra iron, I didn't have the patience to go get more. Also, didn't bring enough milk. As it turns out, the obsidian was pretty useless too, only because I didn't build an obsidian floor, so all the blasts went through it and I just fell. I end up underground a lot. I'm not very good at this. I was lucky that my bow was fairly powerful. The flame was useless though, because it's immune, but I did get in enough shots after a while, although I will put it down mostly to blind luck and this one cave. Because I needed some respite, because I had seriously overestimated myself and underestimated the wither, I jumped down into the nearby cave system just to catch my breath for a few minutes. But I didn't really get a few minutes. This wither thing's like a homing beacon. I didn't realise quite how homing it was. Also, random mobs, it's nighttime, go away. So whilst I'm chilling, the wither ends up in the cave with me and gets kind of stuck in this far corner, which is great because I get off 5 or 6 good shots. Not right now, obviously, but I do get 5 or 6 good shots off. There we go. Shoot, 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 shoot. And that really makes quite the difference in this fight. So I was really trying to play it smart during this fight and use what resources I had. But at one point, there was so much destruction and, you know, a couple of wither skeletons, which was not helpful, that I accidentally ended up swimming into the ocean. I'd also originally bought those splash potions to throw at the wither, but it turned out being way more helpful to just throw them at my own feet in moments of panic. But here's the bit where I end up accidentally in the ocean, after I've got the wither to about halfway. Also, thank God for the tokens. So my strategy after this wasn't great. I would swim around and try to avoid the wither skull missiles, or whatever it is they're called, and then try and swim up underneath it and smack it with my sword. I also forgot that once you hit the second stage at the halfway health point, your bow and arrow becomes pretty much useless. Although I will say that because I was in the ocean, no extra sets of wither skeletons were summoned, which was great because that was one less thing that I had to deal with. I did have to deal with a couple of drowned, but honestly they were the least of my worries. So I've seen people win this fight in 10 minutes or less, and I'm honestly amazed. I know this is literally the first time I've ever fought the wither, but I really didn't think I was going to do this poorly. I ended up using 2 totems of undying because the wither got me twice. I died twice. I didn't even think I was going to die once. I definitely got a bit cocky with this, and that's why it ended up going so poorly. I really should have listened to the advice and gone underground, but I had a couple of mates who were like, nah, you don't need to do it underground. You want to get the full experience of the wither. Let me just tell you this, I do not ever want the full experience of the wither ever again. After what literally felt like forever, I hit the final blow, and I managed to take out the wither. Huzzah! But because I'd been having internet problems, I'd been signed out of my account, which meant I didn't get the achievement. Yay. So I did get the wither star, but my Elgato cut out before I could do it on camera, but I just thought I'd let you know that I did manage to find it. And I defeated the wither. I did it, I did it, I did it, yeah. So thank you everyone so much for joining me this week to fight the wither, and let me know what you think we should do next in the nest. We can't forget this week's subscriber shout out, and this week we are shouting out Sunfire SG. Sunfire makes amazing things in Minecraft and he's almost at 1,000 subs, so definitely go and check him out. Not that he needs a shout out from me, but I thought I'd give him the support that he gives to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe and leave a comment to let me know what you thought, and I will catch you later.